welcome back, everybody, to the podcast. On today's episode, we're going to try to figure out why life has to be so hard. It doesn't have to be this hard.
Why do we do that, Mike?
Up and down, up and down.
Why do we make life so hard?
Why does it have to be this way?
How do you not make it hard?
That's it. That's what we're going to figure out. Today, in 20 minutes,
On Just These Guys, you know?
we're going to solve a problem that people have been dealing with since the beginning of creation.
And Pastor Mike's got the answer.
I think when God first was creating everything, and then it says that he created man, he had up to that point said with everything, oh, it is good. Then he created man, and he said, why does this have to be so hard? He said, it is not good. So, yeah, why does it have to be so hard? This idea came to my mind as I was watching way too much golf over the weekend. It's amazing how the Masters tournament, which is the only golf tournament that I watch all year long, but the Masters tournament, which is incredible, will just suck you in, and the drama of it and the beauty of it and everything else. But Rory McIlroy, for those of you who are not golf watchers or players out there, he is a guy who has, over the years, struggled with ups and downs and being right at the top and then struggling and losing big leads. He's pretty notorious for losing large leads in tournaments. And same situation here this year. He won last year. This year, after 2 rounds, after 36 holes, he was 6 strokes ahead of everybody else, which is the largest 36-hole lead in the history of the Masters. And all of a sudden, halfway into the 3rd round, he's like 1 stroke ahead. He's coming back to the pack, and the pack is catching up to him. You know, it's hard to be the one. It's easier to chase than to be the one being chased. And so he's coming back to the pack. So now he's got 1. And the commentator said this, you know, Rory, he just has a real knack for making easy things hard. And I thought I can relate to that.
Yes.
As I was sitting in my comfortable recliner watching this golf tournament. But with life in general, we do have a knack for doing that. And I'm just curious, from your experience, how do you deal with someone who comes in and says, I just can't seem to make life easy?
And for those of you watching the show right now, please know this is our show prep.
I got a question.
And Lance has got to figure out an answer.
Well, when we first started this whole idea, when this first came to us, the idea was, you know, all we do is get together and have conversations.
Yeah.
And then we thought, yeah, well, maybe we should share this.
Sure.
And then almost 3 years? Has it been 3 years?
Yeah.
It's getting close to 3 years. 3 years later, this is our show prep.
Yeah, well, and this is what we used to do in my office or over in the lobby of your church. We would just grab a cup of coffee or grab a guitar and sit down and talk. We'd ask each other these kind of questions.
Yeah.
And that's a great question. Why do we make the easy things so hard? And all the stuff we've ever talked about on this show, trying to share with other people, help them. There's 2 things that I think are really, really important to success in all things. And as a former quarterback, I think you'll recognize these very quickly.
Okay.
The first one is follow through. I mean, if you're going to throw the football, there's 4 fundamentals to a forward pass. You know, make a chicken wing, grip the laces, come over the top, and flick the wrist. And the flicking of the wrist ensures a good follow through.
I'm just proud that you're doing it with the correct hand.
Left-handed.
Yeah.
And baseball, I mean, when you're swinging the bat, I mean, there's so much to the fundamentals of a swing, from your feet to your knees to your hips to the movement. But ultimately, at the end of it all, if you don't follow through with your swing fully, then everything else just falls apart. Bowling, you know, I did some bowling a few years back, and I took a lesson from a guy next to me.
Really?
You know what your problem is?
Oh, it was just a guy next to you.
Yeah. I didn't actually sign up for lessons. But the guy next to me who's throwing strike after strike after strike was watching me and said, you need to follow through. And so I got a little mantra in my head when I was bowling, which was first was the grip, and then hit your mark, and then follow through. And those were the three things running through my head whenever I bowl was, get the grip, hit your mark, follow through. And if you don't follow through, there's no telling, you're not going to put the correct speed on the ball, the correct spin, all of that. Everything in sports and athletics, ultimately, when you're blocking, you always hear about the offensive linemen, they block until the echo of the whistle.
Follow through.
And they'll be blocking that guy. Because, you see a guy block and then stop. And then the quarterback runs around and gets sacked, and follow through with your block until the echo of the whistle.
A good golf swing
is
about follow through.
Follow through.
Yeah.
And how do I look? You got to follow through, strike the pose to ensure the whole mechanism works well. And I think that's with every task in life. Follow through.
Yeah. That's good.
Follow through. Whatever it is you set out to do, follow through with it.
Each and every day, even with this thing that we're currently, I'll speak for myself. I am currently making something harder than it needs to be because I'm not following through. Stepped on the scale this morning. I'm building muscle.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I'm doing. 220.6. Is that what it was?
Yep, 220.6.
From where last week?
219.
So I got some follow through to do this week.
You got 1.6 in that bicep.
Oh, man. Big time. And Doc, on the other hand.
I was 190.2 last week. I'm down to 187.6.
That's big. That's a big week. But here's what I'm encouraged about. I think you're going to gain it all back this week.
And follow through. One of the things that Tish and I have said, and we do, is when we go on vacation, it is a reset. We take that opportunity to really, really eat well, exercise, swim in the ocean to, kind of wash in the salt water to wash our bodies off. We'll walk.
That is a completely opposite mindset of what most people do.
Most people, not most people, but many people go on vacation to lose their mind.
Right.
And to eat like fools. And they come back and they're like, and they need a week to recover from their vacation. Well, we've been trying, and we are trying. We are following through to be in better health. And so the vacation is an opportunity to kind of reset and begin the new year in a healthy way. So we go on these vacations and we eat very healthy. We get the all you can eat. So we eat all the healthy foods, and we find their spas, and we get massages and chill and meditate. And then we go to the beach and we walk 10 miles and swim. And it's a healthy vacation that we take.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
To kind of kick off the year.
Yep.
And so we say we want to do that, then we follow through and do that on our vacation.
Yeah. So this whole idea of why do we make life harder than it needs to be is simply we know what we know what we should do. Yeah. We know.
We know what the answers are. We know how to be successful in whatever it is.
We just aren't following through with the right thing.
And what dovetails with that is consistency.
Yeah.
If you are following through with the plan or whatever it is that you're doing, and you're following through consistently, it doesn't matter. A little bit consistently over time pays big dividends. A little bit, if whatever you choose to do, even if it's just, I'm going to, cut out sodas. but I do that consistently, then I will see changes over the course of time. I'm following through. I'm not drinking the sodas, and then I am doing that consistently. Thanksgiving, Christmas, friends invite me out, dinner. I avoid the soda. I drink a tea. I drink a water, and I do that consistently. There's dividends. If you're going to take supplements that are supposed to help you, um, creatine,
Mm-hmm.
creatine loading, you have to do it consistently. You have to follow through every morning and then do it consistently over 6 to 8 weeks to see the actual benefits start to occur. And those two things, we make, why do we make easy things hard is because when it's easy, we stop following through, or we're inconsistent with our follow through. And, I can't speak to McElroy. Obviously I don't know him and I'm not in his mindset, but I can imagine that the, the tension of the game, the tightness, I'm ahead. Ooh, get a little tight.
Yeah.
And it's hard to follow through on the putt. It's hard to follow through on the swing and to, play your game and the way you've been playing and to keep playing that consistently. You know, as the environment changes, those things probably become pretty difficult.
Yeah. But the thing that he did immediately after that third round where he came back to the pack is he went out to the driving range, and they said that he spent all evening out there, just him and his coach going over the fundamentals.
The fundamentals.
Get back to the fundamentals. What are the little things that he was losing? What are the little tweaks? Just the little tweaks. And for a lot of us, the going from hard to easy or just getting back on track is just making a few tweaks, not seismic shifts. It's just change that something that you've let drift a little bit and get back to it. Get back to the fundamentals.
And I see that a lot with the work that I do. And, I teach the fundamentals of transformation, of life transformation. What do you control? Focus on what you control. Eliminate demands and expectations and focus on preferences instead of worrying, which is meditating on a negative future. Dream, meditate on a positive future, and then shift from a negative mindset to a positive mindset by eliminating the word not from your vocabulary. So instead of I don't want, I do want. Instead of I can't, I can. And these four fundamentals all work together to, kind of empower you and to help you develop a positive attitude and pursue dreams. And whenever people will call for a follow up, like, yeah, this is going on, and I'm not. And as I listen to them, I'll kind of point out to them, where's your focus? They're like, what are you talking about? Well, you've been talking to me for 15 minutes about so and so. Oh, I'm not focusing on myself. And it's the follow through and being consistent with the follow through, even on your mental mindset. And, that's all we got. They're just, if the audience, Mike, when you leave here, go to Google and in the search bar, ask it a question. Is there any proof to the theory that serotonin levels affect mood? Put that in the Google search bar. The Google AI will pop up first. Read what it says. The mind is all that we have, not the brain, the mind. How you think leads to what you feel. How you think and what you feel lead to what you do.
I said that yesterday in the message.
Hey.
Yep.
And how we approach mental health, how we approach mood, how we approach our life, a lot of times we're looking outside the mind. We're looking for chemicals to alter our brain to make life better, and that ain't going to ever happen for you. That ain't ever going to happen for you.
Yep, that's good. All right, so we type into Google, is there any proof
to the theory?
Okay, got to have that in there. To the theory that serotonin. Affects
mood.
Okay, got it. Be an interesting read.
And it's going to blow your mind. Yeah. Don't ask me. Ask Google.
Ask Google. I tell everybody all the time, just ask Google. That's good. Well, so we're going to get back to the fundamentals.
And, AI, obviously you read all the horror stories about taking over the world and doing whatever. And until that happens, AI is a you can use it as a resource that if you have a question. Now, I read research this weekend that about 85 to 87% of the time, the Google AI is accurate.
Well, that's more accurate percentage than I am.
Well, and that's you have to keep that in mind because 13% of the time, 15% of the time, it's wrong. And I've seen so many examples of somebody pulling up something on AI and running with it and it being absolutely wrong. And depending on what you're doing with it, it can get you in some trouble.
Sure.
So, if Google is just, think of Google as the smart guy on the desk next to you. And, you're lazy. So you ask this person, hey,
yeah,
tell me about this. And he's like, oh, well, and he starts espousing all sorts of information to you. That's all you needed to know, just a quick summary of that topic. That's, you didn't want to go do all the research and read all the articles to come up with your own opinion. You just wanted somebody to help you out. Well, that's Google.
Sure.
And just like that clown at the desk next to you can be wrong because he only read 2 articles and he's acting like he's read 40. Google AI can be wrong.
Sure.
And I've seen, on YouTube where they'll this one guy's like, tell me about so-and-so, and it's himself. And it pops up, his name, his address, and all this stuff. And he's 5'8". He's like, whoa, I'm not 5'8". Where'd you get 5'8"? And he's, where'd you get 5'8"? And it says, the internet site say, well, which internet site? And then it comes back and goes, oh, sorry, that seems to be incorrect. Okay, what is my real height?
Yeah.
And so it's something as simple as that. You know. So use it, but recognize it as a tool, and tools, can be wrong. So, but yeah, check out that question and come back to it. It's down to me. It's down to me.
Yeah, you bet.
It's down to me and God, but it's down to me. There is no quick fix out there. There is no solution out there outside your mind, and your mind is where you think, how you think, and being consistent and following through with everything you do, that leads to success. And how many times, this is just kind of a question I don't want you to answer on the air, but for everybody to think, how many times have you been consistent on something and things are going smoothly and then you let it go for a while? Whether it's cleaning the kitchen or keeping the garage clean or keeping up your car, and because you haven't been changing the oil or getting the tires checked, and then suddenly you start having, problems that you wouldn't have had you had the car in to get the oil change, or had you been keeping up with the kitchen.
Things like antifreeze spraying everywhere. Is this what you're getting at?
Well, like ants in the kitchen. I mean, if you keep the kitchen clean and wipe down the counters every night.
Sure.
But if you start leaving food around and I'll get it later and don't carry out the trash, then you start getting ants, and now you got a big problem.
Yep.
We make easy things hard because we lack follow through and consistency.
Follow through and consistency. That's good. Thank you, Doc. Go Google that question. Go follow through with it. Go do what needs to be done because you want it. What do you think about that, everybody? That's what I thought.
Hey, thank you to the studio audience.
And have an awesome reset week.
Yes. Come back healthy and 5 pounds lighter.
Oh, yeah. And everybody, have an awesome week.
We'll catch you guys next week.